Hey, Dustin Tibbetts with Passport to Wall Street. Today we are going to talk about understanding resistance when a trend breaks. And that's a little bit different here because we're actually usually talking about resistance in the midst of an uptrend or downtrend. Well, with the stock markets lately, we've seen a lot of uptrends break, and that's causing a lot of people to say, well, when we do bounce back, how far will we go? So we're going to take a look today at the transportation ETF, the IYT. I'll put it on the screen there. What we're looking at here is any obvious way to identify a trend. And a lot of traders just use a straight trend line. They'll maybe connect some lows here in the midterm and say, okay, well, this is about a series of lows. And I'll see if I can just change the color of that real quick for you because that blends in. What if we were to go with a bright blue and make it thicker? So looking back, a lot of traders will say, let me find a midterm trend, meaning going back about 6 months, what's the trend? Well, we could say transportation stocks have been mildly higher, a nice little trend there. Now, in the shorter term, what happened to the transportation stocks is they just took off. Oops, sorry about that. So transportation stocks got on a tear to the upside, very strong momentum headed higher, but that's a short-term view. So I'll make this line here maybe just this color, and we'll make that there a little thicker. So now, whether you were watching this transportation index months ago or weeks ago, you're able to say, okay, there's about two trends here. There's a sort of a longer drawn out trend, and then there's a shorter, more aggressive trend. And so what happens is we now can say that this short-term trend is broken. And so now we want to know, if we were to buy this, then what would be our resistance level to the upside? What would be our target? How would we know where to go? Well, the longer-term trend has remained intact. So really, this is just an uptrend that got a little ahead of itself and now has come back to the original support that it probably should have stayed at in the first place. So you can see the midterm trend here still very much intact. Now, if you're looking at this and you say, oh, great, I would buy that, and that makes a lot of sense, where is it that you want to expect that target? Well, a lot of times what traders will do now is start to use what they have as far as a downtrend. So we've got a series of highs here, and I don't mean to be someone that draws a lot of lines on a chart, but this is just a good starting point. So now we have a stock that's sort of dropped here and had a series of these higher highs. Now as we rally, watch what happens. This line here will become the resistance area for the short-term traders. Does that matter to the longer-term trader? Absolutely not. That's a short-term stopping point in the midst of a bigger trend. So the moral of today's little lesson is there are a midterm trend, there is a short-term trend, and you just want to know that when one of those is broken, what is the next resistance area when it eventually does recover and heads back up? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to have more of these to come, and thank you for watching.